What's up, all you cool kids? This is Daisy Collins of TsunamiRose.net, coming at you live from my craft room here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as I do you guys Monday through Friday, bringing you junk journal content and videos. And today, what I'm doing is I'm going to be sewing up all my little crumbs, all my little tiny little pieces. We are going to be sewing them up. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm just going to be sewing up random little fabric crumbs because I'm trying to make my goal is to make, hi Beverly, how are you, girl? My goal is to make a crumb quilt, really, really small patchwork basically. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew different pieces of fabrics together. We're going to make sure they're kind of small like this. So now I have this piece right here. And I'm going to sew. I have all my little scraps next to me. All my little teeny tiny scraps. Some of them I consider to be too small, but okay, here we go. We got this, right? Okay, so I have a bunch of like little strips together. What I could do is I could sew these strips together like this. Right sides together. I can't tell. Can't really tell on this gingham what it is, but it's which side is which, I should say. Hard to tell there. And I'm just using regular default stitch. You almost went to bed. Oh no, Beverly. You almost missed all the action. So now that I have these two strips together like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the extra, and then I can cut these into different little squares too. So now we have a smaller crumb, and it can fit here. So what I do is I'm just trying to make sure that the seams kind of go the same way, but I'm also not really too worried about the seams. Just want to make sure I get everything properly sewn together. So now I have this little patch here. Just keeps growing and growing. What I could do with this little patch now is I could sew it onto this longer strip here. I have this strip, it's pretty long. I can sew all of this to this strip right here. The right sides of the fabric facing each other. So everybody has little pieces of scrap fabric left. You could even use bigger pieces of scrap fabric, like this one here is technically pretty big. Hang on, I gotta do this. This part always, sometimes the needle sinks in for whatever reason. But luckily this is a crumb quilt, so I can always cut that part off. And again, I'm not really worried about the seams. So if they go wrong way, they go wrong way, and I can fix them later. Here's another two little patch here. We can put right here. And then to this, we can add, I am looking through my little scraps. Okay, here's a big piece. Kind of a big scrap here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it down. Hi, Letitia. You gotta run? Okay, girl. See you next time. I kind of wanted to take a small break from Christmas. Surprise, surprise. Just a small break from Christmas, but that's okay. Okay, so now we have, let me use this piece here. And we can sew this piece onto here. And a mess out of these scraps. Okay, so here's what I have on this right here. So here where I messed up, I'm just gonna go ahead and that one's okay. This one right here that I messed up on this. Just gonna go ahead and cut this little corner here. Messed up on the corner, but then it's good. Okay, so now we cut this off of here. Now we got this little patch going on here. River City Creative, hello. That looks cute. I like all the colors in that one. I'm not ironing yet. I'll iron literally at the very, very end. So that's why I kind of like crumb quilting. I don't really worry about ironing too much. Now we have this strip that we put on this strip. And we're going to cut it, and then we're going to cut this strip right here into smaller pieces. You don't have to worry about being straight or nothing. As good as it's going to get for these little scraps. Okay, now I have this piece right here still. And with this piece, we can go ahead and attach this to that piece right here. Why not? Why not? I can also cut this straight so that it's perfectly straight when I sew on it, but I'm going to keep it crooked because it's cool. Okay, so I'm going to sew this on here. That's what you just keep doing. You just keep adding and adding fabric pieces to it. And we have a little extra piece right here. And what can I do with that little extra piece? Let's see. I need some scraps. Oh, look, I have another strip here of fabric. I need to iron that though, so let me turn on the iron. I have quite a bit of strips going on here. Let's see. Okay, here's another piece of big fabric I could cut down. Normally you do this with, you know, really small fabric pieces you already have. But, excuse me, if you don't have small pieces, then you can do just like I'm doing right here. Start off with big pieces, cut them into strips. I'm going to sew this right here. I'm going to leave a little bit of gap. Nothing on this is perfect, and that's why it's fun. Okay. There we go. So now we have this little patch right here, and we can even it out. Just with my scissors. We have this little patch right here. This piece is a little bit too big to be a patch, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that. So I'm going to take a smaller piece. There we go. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I have, what do we got? I have more strips to put together before I can do something bigger. I have this strip right here, and we can put it together with this green strip right here that I have. And we'll make small little fabric chunks. Now make sure we put the right size fabric together. It doesn't matter what your seam measurement is. Patricia, hey, what's up, girl? So here we go. I have this sewn onto this. I can go to this other side, and I can start putting stuff along here. So this little patch right here, I'm just going to open it up. Sew it to this strip. I'm going to open this patch up here. I do like to put the seam pointing down. It'd be more ideal, but it doesn't really matter. then we could put this whole patch that we got made right here to this right here. Hi Sue, how are you? So we got this long chain, right, on this one piece of fabric. We got this strip right here, these two long strips that are sewn together. And so this I'm actually going to cut up into smaller pieces. Whatever size you want, but you do want them to be small. So unless you're doing a big big patchwork, but this is a tiny one, so that's why I'm cutting everything so small. Got this patch here on this right here. I'm just going to cut this part off right here, because if you can tell, it's like twisted. I messed up right here. I'm not really worried about it too much though. I'm not here anyways. So now we got this. Jen, you didn't get the notification. What? Let me turn up this fan and pot. Okay. So we got this. We got all these little patches, and I got this other bigger patch here I could do something with. So let's keep going. This is how they start. You see, and then you start to find a piece that's like just as long, and you put those together. Okay, but we still got this row to deal with here. Made this weird patch right here. Why not? I put all my bigger patches off to the side. And I keep all my little single patches right here. There we go. See, that made this right here. Ooh. My eyes itchy. Oh no. Okay. So there's that. Then I have all these single patches right here. Now let's attach these patches to something else, right? Let's just keep adding to it, or we can make more patches. So now I have this one right here and this strip right here. We're going to put these together because why not, right? Why not? Let's put these together. Give me 1 second. We get organized here. And of course, you're sewing right sides of the fabric together. I just needed a little break from Christmas just for the weekend. Just for the weekend. It happens. It happens. Been going on Christmas strong for like 2 weeks now. Today I was recording a video and my filming setup fell on me and my sewing machine split a whole glass of soda, spilled a whole glass of soda all over my project. Girl, what? What? That is kind of crazy, first of all. First of all, what? That's crazy. So I'm going to cut this strips that I cut together into smaller pieces. Like I said, you could start with small pieces of fabric or you could make small pieces of fabric. You can get that look by sewing up strips like this. So now we have these two little patches, right? So we have all these other two little patches. Let me get these sewn on. Okay, so what I have is a long piece of pink fabric. just a long strip of pink fabric. So none of these have pink fabric on them. So let's add them to this strip here. Okay. Got this strip. I'm going to open up this little patch right here. I'm going to lay it like this so it gets one long pink on the side. Seam doesn't matter if you get it straight or not on here, don't matter. That's the fun part of patchwork. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be straight. I try and get it as straight as possible, but it doesn't have to be. So all these little patches to this pink. And this is definitely not a race. This is, you can work on your scraps as you go along, or you can have it be an everlasting, forever product. Now, sometimes I actually have crumbs and sometimes I don't. And right now I do have some, which I am incorporating in here, but sometimes I don't have that much. So I'm almost making my own crumbs here. But I always see people talking about, oh, I've been sewing for like 30 years, so I have all these scraps. I have not been sewing for 30 years, so I do not have all these scraps. So I have to make my own scraps. I'm not waiting till there's scraps available. I'm working on stuff now. The back of my hand is sore, but nothing extreme, and most importantly, I think my sewing machine is good. Oh yeah, that is most importantly. Just been uncrafting a bit, just getting a bit back into wanting to do a little something. Right. So that's how I got into this, because when I'm not doing specifically junk journaling, this is fun. It's fun because, like I said, nothing has to be perfect. Nothing has to be straight. You just sew it all up together, and then we'll worry about it later. Can make everything straight later. I think they said it might rain here, but that's always an empty promise. Always an empty promise here in the desert. So we'll see what they say. I'm literally going to sew all my little pieces, all my little patches onto this right here. All of them. I've just been sewing all day. That's all I've been doing. I have other, I have the receipt papers I'm working on. I'm thinking about cutting out some hexagons so I can make a hexagon. I'm making another cover. I'm always working on something. I'm always working on something. But this kind of project takes a minute. So that's why I'm doing it ahead of time, because I'd be making 10-hour videos if I really showed everything. But this is for the cover I'm going to make for all my small pieces of fabric. I have bigger patchworks. I have the receipt patchwork. This is another kind of patchwork, really, really small pieces. So I gotta start cutting out hexagons because I want to do hexagons. I meant to ask, do you put it on receipt paper first? This method, no. I've been doing different methods. There is one method with receipt paper, but this is for little pieces like this. The receipt paper method was more for like strips. I could have used this pink strip here for it, but the receipt method paper is more for strips. And this is for small, teeny tiny little pieces. This has no receipt paper on it, no. is just fabric on fabric here. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like crying like a baby with all the drama in the world. I wanted my crafting to be there for me, but I need to rely more on God, and that's my lesson. Definitely, it can be a stressful thing, especially when you have to edit and stuff. That too, that's also, I've never had to make a video ever, but like I had to like learn. Sometimes I'd film the whole tutorial and then I'd be like, oh, I forgot this one step. So I've had to write everything down. But it happens. Everybody gets frustrated. It's a thing. Don't feel so bad. Let's see. I need like another piece right here. Maybe I'll put this one. I'm gonna put this one here. Like this. Okay. Okay, so here's my long strip of strips, right? Again, here you can try and make it a little bit even. But isn't that cute? It's really easy to make these little patches. It just takes time. See, and then here I can even it out. I can even it out this way too. As much as I can. Tiny, tiny little patch right here. And so I'll have this in various stages, and whenever I don't feel like really doing anything, but like just sewing, I'll grab out these little patches and I'll iron them. Or like I said, I actually haven't been ironing them till like the very, very end. So you could start putting them together like this. That's fun. Put these patches off to the side. Keep adding to them. This is definitely not a project that I'm trying to finish tonight. I'm just working on them. They take a while to do, and they also take a while to make a big patch of fabric that you could actually use. It all takes a while, but can't lie, I do enjoy the process. It's very calming to just sew little patches of fabric together. Just like that, just like that. See, and then I'm not going to even this out over here because I want this to be a little bit bigger than that one. That looks adorable. I love the colors of that black blanket I got. It's so smart they use sheets. Girl, I don't have the money. I am not a good sewer. I'm not making gowns over here. So yeah, I had to. And I didn't even think about it until I was literally at the thrift shop and I saw really pretty bed sheets and I was like, wait a minute. This is fabric. This is a lot of fabric for $3. I'm like, oh my God. And I've never gone back. Once in a while, I will buy a nice fancy piece of fabric, but honestly, I don't even do that anymore. It really takes me a while to be like, to justify, okay, I'm going to spend $2 on this little piece of fabric where I could spend $4 on a big old blanket. Like, okay, I'll take the blanket. I'll take the bed sheet. So I have been so happy ever since. I have this beautiful selection of fabrics, and I can get more, and it's not going to cost me a lot, and I'm going to have a lot of it. I love it. I love it. And they have such pretty bed sheets, yo, like for reals. Really pretty bed sheets out there. You have a hard time finding them? I'm not gonna lie, it's not like every time I go to a thrift shop there's a bed sheet. It really does take me a while to find pretty ones. I'm not gonna lie. And it has taken me a while to accumulate the selection that I have. And I've bought them from California. You know what? California has the best thrift shops, if you ask me. If you ask me, not that I've really been around the world or anything, but I love LA thrift shops, dude. They have good prices and they always have really, really cute bed sheets, like always. Can always trust that when I go, like 60% of the time it works every time. You know what I mean? Every time I go to a Cali thrift shop, I am bound to hit some jackpot. And they have great prices. They don't try and do high prices like here in Las Vegas. Love it. Okay, so now we have these patches, right? Look at all the little patches I've already made, like, right? And then we're going to keep adding and adding, and they get bigger and bigger like this. And then you can put them all together. Like I said, it's a work in progress. Definitely not going to get done tonight, which is okay, which is fine with me. Let's see, what else do I have? I turned the iron off. I'm looking through my crumbs. Look what I got. I got this pretty fabric right here. This was just in my scrap bin. Okay. So I'm going to cut small strip off this. And it's a small strip. It's only like an 1.5 inches. Because again, I want to make small patches, right? Small little patchwork. So let's start sewing little small fabrics onto this. Yeah, mine are usually high priced, but to be honest, I've looked at the bed sheets. I've never looked at the bed sheets. They used to be much cheaper, and then Goodwill got really smart to everybody's game, and so they're like, "Oh, y'all are reselling my stuff." Like, okay, let me get my money then, and then y'all can get yours, whatever's left. So Goodwill really does charge high amounts for their items, but they do have really good selection. Sometimes they have the best selection at times, and you can't help it but buy them. Sometimes anyway. Sometimes when it's really worth it. Lately, because my collection has grown, I've kind of been getting more picky with what I bring home. Like, if I really don't like it, or if it's really not cute, or the price is really not good, then I don't want it, to be honest with you. I don't have space for it. If it's not a good deal, I don't want it. It's okay, you can keep it. Let's see here. I'm trying to go through my little scraps. I got this piece right here. This I'm going to add right here. Right now, I'm just adding little crumbs of fabric to this. Christmas fabric here. I don't want Christmas fabric right now. Not right now. Let's see. Oh yeah, somebody gave me. They sent me some samples of their fabric. So now I have some of this. So now why don't we add this strip to this strip? And it doesn't even matter if the strips were hand torn or if you cut them with the rotary cutter. It's the same thing all the way down, really. Let's cut it a little bit short there like that. So that one just keeps on going. I haven't gone into Goodwill since the panic. Latanya. Hi, Latanya. Yeah, I know. I hear you on that. I really have not either. I went one time, but it was too hot, and that kind of got on my nerves. I kind of ended it early, and I never end stuff like this early, ever. Oh, see, that one I put backwards, but you know what? It's fine. I sewed this fabric on backwards. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. looking through my strips, my scraps. This one, I can tell this one's from Crafty Irina. She sent me this piece. She sent me like very quilty fabrics, which I kind of prefer more pattern, floral fabric. Everything for whatever reason. Okay, so I'm literally looking through my scraps right now. Here is this one. Here's a brown scrap. A long strip here though, so maybe I'll cut it down a little bit. Okay, so here's a strip. The time really does fly when you're making crumb quilts. It really does fly. What am I missing? Who am I missing? Did I say hi to everybody? Did I say hi to your paper crane wishes? Hello? Hello, hello. Making sure I have thread and bobbin. Okay. Still looking through my scraps here, trying to see what I've got. I've actually been running kind of low on scraps. Not really, but like good size scraps. Anyways, I should say. Here's this crumb right here, this really tiny piece of fabric. It'll go perfectly right here, so perfect. Okay. Okay, so we got this whole thing that we made here. Now let's cut it apart. And then we have this cute little piece right here. We can start adding to these right here. Ooh, see, that would be cute right there. We could add that. We cut all these off and then we'll see if we can figure any of those out. They're gonna go together. And I'm not really ironing yet. I'm waiting until I have bigger patches to iron. Last time I really did not iron at all, so all of my seams were kind of messed up, and I was like, you know what, whatever. It's fine, it's just a little crumb quilt. I'm thinking about actually making myself like a little blanket for my lap. But that's just a thought. If it never comes true, that's fine too. It's just a crazy idea of mine. I've never sewn anything like that together. So I was just like, maybe, I don't know, probably not. We have these small crumbs right here to add to something. So again, even if you don't have crumbs or scraps to work with, you can make some. Just sew strips together and then you can cut them apart like this. Then we put them back together. This has been a really fun hobby for me that didn't cost me any money because I already have scraps, right? So it was a free hobby that I acquired along the way. I bought a stack of 2.5-inch square fabric pieces. I made strips by sewing them together, then sewed them together and made a cover. They cost me $3. See, that sounds cool. That sounds about what I'm doing. And there. Okay, so now we have these little patches. Well, this one's probably not going to work at all. This one's probably way too small, but it's crumb quilting, so I guess nothing's too small. I guess it's in the right place at the right time here. And this right here, I actually still have to iron. But I think I could still sew stuff to it. Still have to iron it. But let's see, what else do I have? I have this. Nope, nope, I have this right here. And we can cut this into pieces. I really only like to use square pieces and rectangles, but crumb quilting is actually meant to be used with whatever shape, size, fabric you want. It's just I prefer squares and rectangles myself. Cut. Sometimes it's easier just to rip the fabric. My grandma used to make quilts, but we were so poor, the inside of the quilt she made was old jeans. I don't mean to laugh at that. I mean, like, my grandma, when I go to my grandma's house in Mexico, which I always describe as camping, her bed, her pillows are stuffed with old clothes. And she could buy new pillows. I mean, I could buy her new pillows anytime. But she really likes what she's got going on there. Sometimes people just raised one way, and that's just how they do things, even if they don't have to sometimes. Definitely that happens. Okay, so I'm cutting up on my little scraps here. This was actually not a sheet. This was actually part of a fabric. Fat squares. They're called fat square set that I got from Hobby Lobby. Tuesday morning I got this. It's a whole set of fabrics that match that I have not used because I keep using all my other stuff. Okay, let's set those aside though because we need to sew these little patches, these little tiny patches to something else. So here's this. I'm going to sew this to this part right here. Yeah, like 1% of my fabric is brand new. 1%. That was the fabric I bought before I discovered bed sheets, really. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then we're going to add... I might add this whole patch right here to it. Might be a tiny bit too short, but no, it's gonna be too short. It's gonna be too short, maybe for this one. No, hang on. Gotta find the right little patch for this right here. Okay, this will work. Right here. So let's cut these apart. We got that right there with this patch. And we get these right here with this patch. That looks cute. And again, here you can use this when it's all crooked like that, or you can even it out. I prefer to even it out, I'm not gonna lie. I do prefer that. Okay. So let's do these little patches here. See what's good here. Okay, these all have like the same fabric. I'm trying to match them up. They all have the same fabric. Okay, let's get different fabrics for these. They all have like the little pink one. Yeah, they do. Okay, so let's get different little patches together. So I have some of this still. This fabric right here that we can add to these little patches. Give it a little something different. Okay, so I got my strip here, right side up. And I am only going to add the patches to where it has interesting fabric because this fabric right here is kind of sparse on the design. So I'm just going to add the fabric where the fun, exciting designs are. Add this right here. Again, seam doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not. Get this patch on. adding to these little patches. I'm going to add this patch in here. Just kind of keep adding pieces to this, to these right here. So this to this. So like I said, I kind of do this as I go, as I do my projects, so that way I'm not working with crumbs too often, but only when I feel like it. You could sort your fabrics. It's probably what I'll do soon. I'll sort my fabrics into like bigger pieces and smaller pieces, etc. Because I think that's what I might need to stay a little bit more organized with these scraps. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have? Gotta do something with this. Put this on this side. Okay. I'm gonna keep putting these little patches on here. This really is a calming project. What happened? What happened? What did I do? No, we're good. What happened? Everything kind of like rolled up and I don't know why. Okay. So I have this right here. And I can cut out some strips. They're not going to be perfect strips because this is kind of oddly shaped here. Okay. Just literally trying to get all the scraps I can that I can out of this before I call it done, so that I could throw away. That's like the corner of the fitted sheet. Okay. And I don't think there's anything here I could use. I mean, no, I'm gonna throw this piece away. I'm gonna call that done. I'm gonna call that piece done for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna add this strip here. Right there. I also ordered, was that a pillowcase? It was like a fitted sheet. Yes, we still have enough to do a cover. Hey. I think what I'm gonna do is I purchased some more quilt fabric. Quilt rulers. They should be here tomorrow from Amazon. And I bought them so that I can learn how to do half triangles. So I'm a little excited about trying half triangles. It looks pretty easy, and it looked even easier with this tool, so I went ahead and bought it. And I'm excited about trying it out when it arrives. I'm going to do half triangles. I've never done them before. They don't look too hard. So if things don't look too hard, I'll definitely give it a try. I'll definitely try it out. Just trying to make that one a little bit smaller. So I'm excited about that. They look really cool, and it looks, like I said, it looks easy enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try when they come in. Cut these, get little patches from it. Okay. What color thread did you get? This one right here is white. The one I'm using here is white. I'm using my actual legit sewing thread. Like, I bought it at Walmart. So I'm trying to use my better thread when I do this kind of project. And I'll use my cheaper thread and I make, you know, embellishments and stuff. I think that that'll work. I mean your new order. Oh, you didn't see? I already put them away, Jen. I've already organized them. Oh, man. I got some really cool colors, though. I got, let me see. I'm trying to differentiate which ones I got. I've already put them away. I got some really pretty colors, like these two. These are gorgeous. This, like, burgundy and this, like, berry-looking color. No, my bad. I wish I had them. I wish I had them to show you. I got the coolest colors. But now that I put them away, I can't remember which ones I've had. I got this really cool. I got these. I got this really cool. It's almost like the color of. It looks different on camera, but this is almost like the color of Ariel's tail. You know, like Ariel from The Little Mermaid, like the color of her tail. And this one's more like a teal. They look literally the same on camera, but they are a little bit different. Those colors were obviously my favorite ones. And luckily I got a bunch of browns and I got a bunch of dark colors. I got one black. So I'll still need to buy another spool of black. But all the colors that I got are so exciting. I'm ready to do more stuff. Fun project is probably going to be when I do this, when I do my collages and the little envelopes. Those are going to be fun to do with the different color threads. So I am excited about that. I'm just sorry that, yeah, I know I was right about the black one. I did get one black. But I'm really sorry that I didn't save them in the box. I really wish I could have shown you all the ones I got together, but it's such a beautiful set. Like I said, you get random colors every time, so I really, you know, it's really a mystery which ones you're going to get. And I also got a white thread in there, so that's good. I haven't had white thread in a while. Okay, so there's that. So that's good. Okay, so we got this little patch right here. It's a little weird, but that's okay. It's okay to be weird. Okay, so now that we got these patches here, let's see if we can connect any of them to each other this time. I'm going to put my bigger patches off to the side. These are all my single patches. Well, like this and then single patches. Let's see what we can do. We got this here. I am just kind of finger pressing them open. Again, I'm not really worried about anything being perfectly straight or anything like that. Okay, so this here I can attach to this right here. Cool. Let's sew these together. Right sides together. Who's here? Is that Monique? What's up, Monique? So here we got this little patch now with the different little fabrics. These two fabrics are the same, but that's fine. I'm not tripping. We got this 2 patch right here. It's a little too short for that. But it is not too short for this right here. Hey, let's put that together. Together. All right. So we got this little long patch right here. Okay, put that aside. See if we got anything for this one. What we got? We got these 2. Oh, look, they'll go perfect right here. Nothing has to match up. None of the seams have to match up or anything like that. So that's why I love this technique here. Nothing has to match up. Nothing has to be perfect. That is my type of quilting. Are we good? Are we good? Are we back? So now we got this patch right here. Look at that. Look at that. And then you start piecing these patches together like that. And then you get bigger patches over time. Don't don't try and rush yourself because, like I said, this project, it takes me a while to put together, and it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna put these two together right here. Now I'm surrounded by piles of fabric. Good thing I have a nice big desk. Isn't it called Crazy Quilt? Yeah, it could be called Crazy Quilt. Crazy Quilt uses more bigger pieces. So since these pieces are small, they're called crumb quilts. But it could be considered crazy quilting as well. Definitely. Could be. Could be. I'm not like the ultimate knowledge person on quilting, so it could be. It is essentially the same process. Like I said, it's just crumbs are supposed to be smaller pieces. So there's that little patch. And then we can attach these patches to other patches. That's what I'm trying to find. Different fabrics. Here's this right here. Does this fit? You see these two fit right there? So again, I'm not really even worried about matching seams or anything. If they're crooked, they're crooked. We can fix them later. I'm not worried about it at all. I just want to stitch, right? I just want to sew something together with something else. Oops. Started too early on that one. And on this one right here, okay, so some of these seams are like way off, like you see that part in the middle. So then I know I need to make a bigger seam than I normally do so that I can get all these fabrics to fit together and not have little gaps. So I'll use a bigger seam than normal. Then you can take your scissors and even it up like that afterwards. Okay, so now I have this patch, and these little tiny pieces is what makes it a little crumb piece. These teeny tiny little patches. So isn't that cool? You get, like I said, that's how you grow them, and then now I can attach this to this one right here. And none of the fabrics are the same, so let's do that. Just for the fun of it. Am I gonna go live tomorrow? No, I have to clean tomorrow. I'm going to clean my house tomorrow, so I will not. And if I do go live, then you should tell me to get off and clean my house. But no, I don't have plans to go live tomorrow, unfortunately, because I have to clean my house. Boo! I'd rather be crafting. I'll tell you that right now. I'd rather be crafting, but I have to. I have to be an adult for like an hour or two. So see right here, I am not even worried about the seams. Like that right there is messed up. I'll just take my little scissors here and just kind of cut it down so that way it flips up over here. This is good. I just have to iron it. Okay, so then we have this little patch right here. And that's how you keep growing them. You just keep finding patches that are about the same size and put them together. Sew strips together, and then you can keep working on that. See, this is a lot of fun, right? Right? We're all having fun, right? I'm laughing because it's just, I'm being silly. Okay, so I'm going to sew this one here to this one. And then I'm almost done for the night. Of course, this will continue for me. I think this is what I'm going to end up doing all night. All night long. So you can fix the seams to make sure that they do go the same way, but it really don't matter. It really don't. Make it straight or don't. It's all good in the neighborhood, and that's why I love it. That's why I keep coming back to this method of putting fabric together. Look at that. I have a nice large patch that I did not have earlier. Heather says, do you need certain theme fabrics in one block, or can it be, you can put several? You could do whatever kind of fabric you want. All of my fabric is pretty much like themed pastels and florals and patterns. I don't actually use a lot of pattern. Like this is one pattern in here. Everything else is pretty much like floral. That's just because that's what I keep. That's what I like in my stash. But you could use whatever you have in your stash, whatever colors, and nothing has to match at all. Or it could all be themed. Definitely, you could use themed fabrics. Or it could be all of your little scraps. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry that you caught me at the end, Heather. How does the virus affect you and your family? My parents actually went through it months ago, so it has affected my family. Now my aunt and my cousin have it, so it's a big old mess, y'all. Stay inside, don't go out if you can avoid it. And I'll see you guys on Monday. We'll get started on decorating my little Christmas golden book. So yeah, y'all have a good night. Stay safe, stay home, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Bye.